Alright, number 1, version 1. I'm adding two polynomials. Okay, because they are positive on the outside of both sets of parentheses, I can take them out of their parentheses. Okay, now I'm looking for like terms. My highest term is 4. Negative 6 plus 7 is 1, n to the 4th. My next highest term is 3. I have 8 minus 4 is 4n cubed. And I have 6 minus 1 is 5. Right, I am subtracting a polynomial. Okay, my first set of parentheses is positive to the outside, so I can just drop my parentheses. My second set of parentheses is negative to the outside, so when I drop my parentheses, I have to change the sign of everything inside my parentheses. So my positive 8 became negative, my positive 8 became negative, and my negative 8 became positive. Now I'm looking for like terms. My highest exponent is 3. I have negative 2x to the third and negative 8x to the third. Negative 2 and negative 8 is negative 10x to the third. My next highest exponent is 2. I have 1x to the second and negative 8x to the second. 1 minus 8 is negative 7x to the second. Then I have 6x plus 8x, which is 14x. Alright, number 3 is a binomial, 2 terms, times a binomial, 2 more terms. 2 times 2 is 4, so we need 4 boxes. I have 2k plus 1 times 5k minus 8. 2k times 5k is 10k squared. 2k times negative 8 is negative 16k. 1 times 5k is 5k. 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. I have like terms right here. Okay, I have 10k squared. 5k minus 16k is negative 11k. And then I have my negative 8. Right, number 4 is a binomial times a binomial. 2 terms times 2 terms. 2 times 2 is 4. So I need 4 boxes. I have 4x plus 6 and 3x plus 5. 3x times 4x is 12x squared. 3x times 6 is 18x. 5 times 4x is 20x. And 5 times 6 is 30. And I have like terms here. So we just have 12x squared. 20 plus 18 is 38x plus 30. Alright, we have another binomial times a binomial for number 5. 2 terms times 2 terms. 2 times 2 is 4. So we need 4 boxes. I have 8x plus 3 times x minus 1. 8x times x is 8x squared. 8x times negative 1 is negative 8x. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Here are my like terms. I have 8x squared. 3 plus negative 8 is negative 5x minus 3. Alright, number 6 is a binomial times a trinomial. 2 terms times 3 terms is 6, so we need 6 boxes. Okay. I have n minus 8 times 8n squared minus 4n plus 1. 8n squared times n is 8n to the third. 8n squared times negative 8 is negative 64 n squared. N times negative 4n is negative 4n squared. 8 times negative 4n is 32n. N times 1 is n. And negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. I have two sets of like terms. So I end up with 8n to the third. Negative 64 and negative 4 is negative 68n squared. 32n plus 1n is 33n minus 8. Number 7 is a binomial times a trinomial, 2 terms times 3 terms. 2 times 3 is 6. So we're going to do 6 boxes. Okay. I have 4m minus 3 and 6m squared minus m plus 2. 6m squared times 4m is 24m cubed. 4m times negative m is negative 4m squared. 4m times 2 is 8m. 6m squared times negative 3 is negative 18m squared. Negative 3 times negative m is positive 3m. And negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. I have like terms here and here. Okay, we have 24m cubed. Negative 18 and negative 24. Negative 18 and negative 4 is negative 22m squared. 3m and 8m is 11m minus 6. Alright, number 8, directions say to factor using the greatest common factor. Okay, now looking at this, I'm looking at 20, 24, and 12, and v's in all of them, and I'm seeing that I'm probably going to have 4v as my greatest common factor. Okay, but let's go ahead and split it up just to make sure. You do not have to do this, okay, if you can do it in your head. 20 is negative, so I'm going to start with negative 1. 20 is 2 times 5, then we have that v. 24 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. V squared is v times v. 12 is 2 times 2 times 3, and v to the 4th is 4 v's. The first match that I see is v. I have 2's that match, and I have 2's that match again. I don't have anything else that matches in all 3 boxes. 2 times v is 4v. That is my greatest common factor. But because it tells me to factor it completely, I have negative 1 times 5 is negative 5 left in that box. 2 times 3 is 6 times v is 6v. 3 times 3 more v's is 3v to the 3rd. And this one is factored. Okay, number 9 also tells us to factor using a greatest common factor. As I look across here, I can see I can divide all 3 of those coefficients by 9, and they all have 1a or more. So I'm saying that my greatest common factor is 9a. When I divide 36 by 9, I get 4. When I divide a to the 5th by a, I get a to the 4th. Negative 18 divided by 9 is negative 2. A to the 2nd divided by a is a. 9a divided by 9a is 1. Now if you want to see it with the boxes like we have done, 36a to the 5th minus 18a squared plus 9a. Okay, let me change colors. Okay, we're going to split up my boxes. Okay, 36 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, and we'll have 5 a's. Negative 18 is negative 1 times 2 times 3 times 3, and we've got 2 a's. 9 is 3 times 3, and there's an a. I have eighths that match. I have 3's that match. And I have 3's that match. Nothing else matches. I have 3 times 3 is 9, times a is 9a, like right here. 2 times 2 is 4, and there are 5 a's. 4a to the 4th. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2, times a is negative 2a. When we have circled everything, I could have still multiplied all of this by 1, and nothing would change. There's always going to be something left, and if you've circled everything, it will be 1. So this is where my 1 is. Alright, number 10 says to factor completely. Alright, I do not have perfect squares, which we're not worried about because we're not doing special cases on this quiz anyway. I'm going to slide my 1. 1 times negative 72 is negative 72, and my b is negative 1. 72 is 1 times 72, 2 times 36, 3 times 24, 4 times something, 18, 6 times 12, and 8 times 9. Okay? Now, one side has to be negative, and the other side has to be positive to get negative 72 when we multiply. When we add, we need negative 1. 8 and 9 are the only ways possible to get 1 if we subtract. Because my b is negative, my bigger number has to be negative. So I have m plus 8 times n minus 9. The number that I slid was 1, so I'm dividing by 1. And get n plus 8, because that divides evenly. And n minus 9, because that one divides evenly. The nice thing is, when that's a 1, those factors won't change when you rewrite them, when you divide. Alright, number 11 tells us to factor completely. Alright, I'm looking at 3n squared minus 19n plus 30. I do not have any common factors that I can take out of any of those. So I'm going to slide. 3 times 30 is 90. And my b is negative 19. To get 90 is 1 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 30, 5 times 18, 6 times 15, and 9 times 10. Okay. I need to get 19. Okay. Nothing in here is going to give me 19 until I get here. But it's negative 19. Okay, because this is positive, both of these can either be positive when I multiply, or they both have to be negative. Negative 9 times negative 10 is 90. Negative 9 plus negative 10 is negative 19. So I have n minus 9 times n minus 10. The number that I slid was 3. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. That divides evenly. 10 does not divide by 3 evenly, but it won't reduce. So my 3 will slide right up before that n, and I will get 3n minus 10. Alright, negative 12 tells us to factor completely. I look at 4k squared minus 9k plus 5, and I cannot find any common factors. So I'm going to slide. 4 times 5 is 20. My b is negative 9. 20 comes from 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 4 times 5. The only way I can even come close to getting a 9 out of any of this is 4 and 5. To get a positive product, I either have to have positive factors or negative factors. Negative 4 times negative 5 is 20. Negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9. Okay, so I have k minus 4 and k minus 5. The number that I slid was 4, so I've got to divide those both by 4. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. Negative 5 does not divide evenly by 4, but that won't reduce. Okay, so I'm going to slide the 4 back up in front of the k to get 4k minus 5.